something inside you has been stirring lately. Not anxiety, not doubt, but a sacred pulse. A whisper only your soul could hear. Someone has called your name, not aloud, but through the stars. And the angels are here to confirm it. The person you've been thinking about, the one whose silence echoes louder than words, they made a request. Not in prayer, not in speech, but in ache. A plea to the universe for something real. And what they asked for was you. They didn't know it at the time. The way we rarely recognize destiny until it stares us back through the eyes of another. But something in them, call it divine longing, reached for healing, for truth, for home. And heaven, in all its mystery, sent you as the answer. You didn't need to chase them, prove your worth, or perform your love. Your existence was the answer. Your softness. Your courage to still believe in love after all it has cost you. The way you carry both fire and grace in the same breath. The angels say, this is what woke them up. But their heart, it's not used to awakening. This person has been asleep for years, behind masks, logic, roles. They have asked for love, but feared what it would demand. And yet, when they saw you, they recognized the call. The soul they begged for in silence. And now, they are quietly preparing to become the one worthy of standing beside you. You may not feel it yet. But on another plane, where intention meets spirit, they are already moving. Rearranging. Questioning everything they once called certainty. Because nothing feels certain anymore, except you. And here's the mystery. Even if they never say a word, even if their fear delays what your heart hopes, know this. The request has been made. And heaven heard it. You are the answer. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. You've questioned why someone who feels so deeply for you could also seem so distant. Why they look at you with oceans in their eyes, only to turn away before you can dive in. The angels say, it's not you. It's the storm they've been hiding. This person, the one whose energy lingers long after they've gone, carries a pain too deep for words. A pain that didn't originate with you, but was awakened by you. Because your light revealed what they buried. And the soul, when faced with healing, does not always rejoice. Sometimes it runs. You didn't seek out this role, did you? To be the mirror, the trigger, the one who made them feel again. But the moment your souls connected, their wounds opened like petals. Not to bleed, but to breathe. You showed them the parts of themselves they tried to forget. And that is terrifying for someone who survived by forgetting. The angels whisper, this isn't resistance. It's self-protection. You see their silence as distance. But to them, it's armor. Every pause is a memory coming back. Every retreat is a fear resurfacing. They were taught that love means loss. That closeness means danger. And now, here you are, close, real, unshakable. So they pull back. Not to hurt you, but to avoid drowning in themselves. They want to love you. But love, for them, has always been a battlefield. The angels ask you to hold compassion without bearing the weight. You are not here to fix what others have broken. Only to embody truth so clearly that it becomes a map for the lost. This person may not yet have the tools to meet your depth, but they are learning. Your presence is not in vain. Your love is not too much. You are not a reminder of pain. You are the reason they finally feel it's safe to feel. And that is the first step toward everything. You've poured so much of your soul into waiting, for answers, for clarity, for that moment when they finally choose you out loud. But the angels press their hands over your heart now and whisper, "Beloved, it is time to choose yourself again." There's a sacred lie women are taught, that love is proven through sacrifice, that your worth is measured by how much you can endure. But heaven sees you differently. The angels say, your light was never meant to be dimmed just to soothe someone else's shadow. This person, no matter how complex and beautiful their spirit may be, is not your responsibility to save. Love does not require abandoning yourself. It requires presence, and that includes being present with your own needs. There is a holiness in choosing yourself, in lighting a candle for your own peace, in standing at the edge of their chaos and saying, "I will not disappear for you." You were not made to shrink to fit inside someone else's fear. You were made to expand, into joy, into truth, into sacred rest. Let their journey be theirs. Let their healing be guided. But do not walk so far into their night that you forget how to find your morning. The angels say your light is precious. It restores. It awakens. But first, it must warm you too. What happens next is not just about whether they will return. It's about whether you will remain whole in the waiting. Because no matter how great the love you carry, you are still the temple. And temples must not collapse to be holy. You are not too much. You are not hard to love. You are just finally remembering that the love you've been praying for starts with how you love yourself. There is something sacred about the way your presence unsettles them. Not because you are chaos, but because you are clarity. And clarity terrifies those who have built entire lives on not seeing. The angels say, your soul is a mirror, not one that flatters, one that reveals. When this person looks at you, they don't just see a beautiful face or a kind heart. They see every part of themselves that they've tried to hide, every hope they buried, every truth they feared would never feel safe. And that is why they tremble. You didn't mean to reflect their shadows, but you did. Not through words, but by just being. You loved from a place so whole, so unmasked, that it made their armor ache. It forced them to question who they are, what they want, and whether they are brave enough to become the person your love believes they could be. And that reflection? It both pulls them closer and pushes them away. The angels say, this is not rejection. This is a reckoning. They are not resisting you. They are resisting themselves, the version of them that could finally be honest, present, and free. And you, dear soul, are the lighthouse illuminating that shore. You didn't come to save them, but your light might be the only thing strong enough to guide them home. So if they run, let them. Mirrors do not chase. They simply stand, steady, still, unchanged, until the eyes that once avoided them find the courage to return. You are not too bright. They are just not ready, yet, to see that the reflection they fear is the same one that could set them free. There are moments, quiet and barely visible, when something shifts. A pause in their voice. A softness in their gaze. The way they almost say what they feel, and then stop. The angels say, do not overlook these moments. They are the first signs of awakening. This person, the one whose heart has been a maze of silence and longing, is beginning to stir. Not fully, not confidently, but genuinely. And that changes everything. They may still seem distant, still wear the armor of indifference, but beneath it, their heart is learning a new rhythm, one that beats for you, even when they don't say it. The angels show me a soul rubbing its eyes after a long sleep, disoriented, raw, overwhelmed by the light. That's what your love has done. It has broken through the fog of their numbness. Not to demand, but to remind. Remind them of what it feels like to feel. To hope. To trust again. There's hesitation, yes. But also hunger. For peace. For truth. For you. And though they may not admit it yet, the change has begun. The dreams. The flashes of you in mundane moments. The urge to reach out, only to pull back in fear. These are the signs. This is the unfolding. You did not push them to wake. You simply stood in your truth. And that truth is irresistible. The angels say, a soul cannot ignore its own reflection forever. And in you, they see the life they could live if they stopped surviving and started loving. So pay attention. Not to their words, but to the tremble between them. Not to the distance, but to the way their energy never really leaves you. This is how a soul awakens. Not in thunder, but in whispers that only the heart can hear. You felt it, the closeness, then the distance. The way they lean in, only to disappear. Like waves pulling at your shore, never staying, never gone. The angels say, this cycle is not punishment. It's a pattern. And it has roots deeper than you imagine. This person has known abandonment. Maybe not in obvious ways, but enough to believe that love is temporary, that connection always breaks. So even when they begin to feel safe with you, something inside panics. Not because you are unsafe, but because safety is unfamiliar. The angels whisper, they are not running from you. They are running from the hope you bring. You offer something so pure, so stable, so present, and that presence disorients their nervous system. They have trained themselves to expect loss. And now, in the face of your steadiness, they wait for the fall. So they create it. Distance. Silence. Excuses. Always to test. Will you stay if I push? Will you still care if I disappear? This isn't manipulation. This is survival. But here's the sacred truth. Every time they return, they are a little less afraid. Every cycle is not the same. Because each time they experience your light, they remember. Not just you, but the version of themselves they are becoming with you. The angels say, growth is not linear. And neither is love. You are not in a loop. You are in a spiral. Higher. Deeper. Even when it feels like you're going backward, you're really moving through layers. Of fear, of healing, of becoming. So breathe. Not every withdrawal is the end. Sometimes, it's the soul's way of gathering the courage to return stronger. And they will. Because even in retreat, their heart never really left. There is a kind of love that does not shout. That does not demand answers or timelines or proof. It just stays, like breath, like prayer. The angels say, you have offered this love. And it is changing them. This person, so guarded, so unsure, is slowly being healed. Not by your words, but by your essence. You are not teaching them love through lessons. You are revealing it through presence. And presence is the medicine they never knew they needed. They have tried to resist. Tried to make you just another chapter. But something about you won't let them go back to sleep. The angels show me their heart, tired, fractured, but still beating, learning to open again in your light. There is a softness now. A crack in the shell. A tenderness they hide behind logic and delay. But it's there. And it grows every time you meet them with compassion instead of pressure. Every time you choose faith over frustration. Every time your love speaks without sound. The angels whisper, you are not here to heal them, and yet you are the healing. Because love, when offered freely, without barter or threat, becomes a sanctuary. It disarms. It rebuilds. You may not see the results clearly. Healing often hides in the unseen. But trust this. Your energy has made them feel safe. Your patience has made them believe again. And your love is doing more than you know. So do not underestimate the medicine you carry. It's not in what you say. It's in who you are. And that, dear soul, is already transforming everything. You've asked why. Why this soul? Why now? Why does it feel both divinely timed and impossibly tangled? The angels answer not with explanation, but with presence. They lean close and say, "You are exactly where you're meant to be." This journey, though unclear, is guided. Every delay, every misstep, even the silence, all have been part of the plan. Not to confuse you, but to refine you. There is a map unfolding that only heaven can read in full. And your role? Trust what you cannot yet see. This person, too, is being moved. Not by logic, not by control, but by spirit. They may not realize it yet. They may think they're choosing their own path. But their soul knows. It remembers the agreement, the pull, the promise made in a realm where love is truth and timing is sacred. The angels show me a web of light connecting your heart to theirs. Every tug, every ache, every hope, part of the divine thread pulling both of you closer. Even in silence, the thread holds. Even in doubt, it shines. You are not chasing. You are following. And the difference is holy. Do not measure this connection by earthly standards. What's being built here is not just a relationship. It's a realignment, a soul remembering, a future written not by hands, but by heavens. So when fear says it's too late, and time says they should have come by now, listen to the voice deeper than both, the one that still believes. Because faith is not about seeing the next step. It's about knowing that the path is being laid as you walk. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Psalm 37 verse 23. They want to love you. But to them, love feels like surrender, and surrender has always seemed dangerous. The angels say, this person carries a deep-seated fear of being truly seen. Not because your gaze is harsh, but because it is sacred. In your eyes, they sense the unraveling. And the unraveling feels like loss, even though it marks the beginning of freedom. You've wondered, haven't you, why they hold back just when it starts to feel real? Why the words get stuck in their throat? Why they smile with their lips, but their eyes reveal a different story? It's not rejection. It's vulnerability, a kind so raw that it frightens even them. They weren't taught that love could be safe. They were taught to earn it, to survive it, to grasp it with one hand while bracing for the fall with the other. But you are gentle without being weak, safe without being silent. And that confuses every defense they've built. The angels whisper, their love is not small. It is hidden, guarded, prayed over in silence, felt in ways they have yet to find the words for. Every time they turn away, they hope you'll still be there when they look back. Not because they take it for granted, but because they need it. You are their proof that love doesn't vanish when things get real. But dear soul, do not disappear in an attempt to keep them from fading away. Stand gentle, but not silent. Let your presence speak. I see you, and I'm not afraid of what's still healing in you. Because love, real love, meets us in the unfinished places. Perfect love casts out fear. 1 John 4 verse 18. There comes a moment when the waiting eases, when the ache transforms into wisdom, and when love, no longer about holding on, becomes about letting go. The angels gather close now, their wings brushing against your spirit, and say, it's time to surrender. Not to give up. To surrender. There is a difference. You've done the inner work. You've listened through silence, stood through absence, and loved through uncertainty. You've opened your heart without knowing if it would be held. And that, my dear, is sacred. Now, the invitation is to trust. Not in them. Not in outcomes. But in the divine order that brought you here. The angels whisper, what is yours will find its way home. It will not require chasing, fixing, or proving. It will recognize you by your energy. And it will choose you in return. This person may not be ready to meet you completely. Or they may arrive in a way you didn't expect. Through change, through timing, through a path only spirit could write. But the love you've given has already changed them. It resonates within them. Whether they return or move on, they are not the same. And neither are you. So take a deep breath. You are not unfinished. You are not alone. You are not falling behind. You are in sacred timing. The angels say, your soul came here to learn, to open up, to remember. And this connection, this beautiful longing, was the teacher. It taught you how to remain gentle in a tough world. How to love without losing yourself. How to trust without needing certainty. And now, it's teaching you how to let go, not of the love, but of the burden. Let love be what it was always meant to be. Not a cage, but a current, guiding you home to yourself.